Hi everyone, how's everyone doing today? I was thinking about a topic to talk about today in the channel, and my go-to topics, of course, because here in this channel we talk a lot about issues surrounding disabilities. We talk about families of people with disabilities. We talk about children and children's cognitive skills and education, a lot of education issues. But sometimes I do talk about things that are of interest to me, of experiences that I've lived through. And this morning I just couldn't stop thinking about something that happened to me, I would say a couple of years ago, and that I have alluded to in this channel. I've talked about it in different social media platforms. But because of what's happening in New York, the state where I live, with the current governor, Governor Cuomo, and harassment and all these other issues, I really felt that it was about time for me to start talking a little bit about my own experience with harassment. And so, one of the things that kept coming back to mind is, and I'm sure a lot of people, a lot of New Yorkers agree with this, which is, we think about the way that Governor Cuomo handled the pandemic, without thinking about what's happening, with the issues with the nursing homes. I'm sorry, and the cover up of the numbers. If we just take that out of consideration for a minute, and we think about um, how methodic and science based the whole thing was, I would say that he was very efficient in the way he handled it. And so a lot of us profess admiration for the way that he handled the pandemic. However, for me at least, and I'm sure a lot of people like knew or could kind of feel that there was this authoritarian streak about the governor. I had seen it. I had seen the way that he, even during the summer, the way that he referred to some of the reporters, the way he talked to them, the way he talked to the mayor of New York City, whether you agree with one or the other, the way that he referred to him wasn't particularly good from someone in power. And you expect that somebody that has a lot of power also has a lot of humility, because first of all, if you're an elected official, you're there because people elected you to be in that office. So there should be a kind of humility that comes within that role, within knowing that you're there because of the people that put you in there, but also because when you have power, and especially if you have power to serve people, you should be very humble and very open, and you should understand that you are there in a position of service. That yes, you have power because you need it to make decisions and to make government work for the people, but you're there because you're in a position of service. So that's what I'm going to say about that. But I wanted to bring that up because I wanted to talk to you about harassment and bullying when it comes to people in power, because I was on the receiving end of the harassment and the bullying when I was in the New York City Department of Education, specifically in the Office of Student Enrollment. And I was reading a comment from someone this morning who was talking to someone who had been bullied and in the workplace. So this person was saying, when you write your letter for HR, remember to name your bullies and to name the people who did this to you and who forced you to resign, because you want to warn other people. You want to warn other people that are either taking your place or are going to be in a similar place, and you want to make sure that they are aware of who your bullies were. And I can tell you one thing, like, I wish I had known with names who the bullies were. And some people warned me about some people, but they didn't know about these other people. So I feel like I'm between a rock and a hard place right now because I'm not sure. I've never named my bullies. I don't think I've ever named them, even in my exit letter that was very poignant and very specific. And it had a few action items when I left my job. But I never named my bullies. Name and last name. Never did that. And I think this comes to the question of, once you've been either the victim of sexual harassment or the target of a bully, especially at work, you will see that even in situations in schools when children are being bullied, in schools it's very hard to get them to name their bully because they're scared. And they are afraid of retaliation. But at this point, right, I left my job a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, and I'm doing absolutely fantastic on my own, better than I was when I was employed. So why wouldn't I name my bullies? And so I'm between a rock and a hard place because I still feel like I can't do it. I feel like even though I made strides in my recovery and I've grown so much and I help other people leave bullying situations, I feel like I still have a little bit of PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and that's preventing me from naming my bullies, from saying who it was. I just got off of writing a letter to the mayor of New York City, Mayor Bill de Blasio, and I told him what happened. And if you're listening, Mayor Bill de Blasio, I'm still waiting for that check. Can you believe it? It's been 2 years almost. It's been 2 years since I put my resignation letter. I gave 14-week notice. 14-week notice. Most people give a 14-day notice. I gave a 14-week notice that I was leaving. And still I haven't received my final check for my accrued days, which were 108. So I just wrote that letter to the mayor and I still could not name my bullies. I told him about the situation, could not name them. So I guess I'm doing this video to ask you. It's been almost 2 years and I feel like people deserve to know. Those who were close to me know who my bullies were. And I can tell you this, I'm going to go one step further. Not only did I leave my organization, I left the entire Department of Education. I couldn't deal with it anymore. I couldn't even deal with anything that had to do with a lateral dealing with this person or persons. I investigated offers that I was, looking into. I was even asked to go further into, I made a first round, second round of interviews somewhere that I was applying, but I found out that I was going to have some kind of a lateral connection to this person, and I did not want to pursue it. I just left. And what I wanted to say was my staff that worked with me, because nobody works for me, people work with me. They also left. So for all of you guys out there, would you name your bullies? If you were subjected to a bullying situation at work and it was within your power to tell people who were going to be working under these people, persons, would you name your bullies? What would you do? Let me know in the comments. And thank you so much for supporting me. And I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye.